and welcome back to Dan and Tony Sports. The second half of the episode, we still have lost Tony. he still isn't back. But Dan O'Shea, Dan Beebe, and I, we are back, and we're ready to talk the NBA. So earlier today, NBA announced it's no longer going to have a partnership with China, which is one of the reasons that Tony hated the NBA to begin with. So maybe now he can go back to watching it. But there are some really weird things going on in the NBA. Everyone is in Florida, and they're in the bubble. But some people have decided, I want to have people from outside the bubble come into the bubble. Which just goes to show you can't let millionaires do what they want for as long as you have. I mean, missing your family is one thing, but fuck, why are you ordering Grubhub? You're a multi-millionaire. Just fucking deal with it, and then just spend all your money on fucking sushi and prime rib when you get out of the fucking bubble. Jesus Christ, you're complaining about the living accommodations and the food while trying to entertain people who don't have living accommodations or food, and you're just sounding like stupid little fucking children. Grow up. Just what John Morant does and says, just follow him. He's like, I got a room, I got food, I'm good. There you go. That's all you need. You got room, you got food. Just don't try and bring Grubhub into the equation when you're being told to fucking isolate yourself. And
yeah, and I think 2 days of it, they had regular food before all the professional chefs were cleared. And it's all right, you got professional chefs. You don't need to be ordering Grubhub.
Seriously.
Oh my god.
It was the dumbest fucking thing. And then now they had to build a barber shop. All right, and now they've got a snitching hotline, which is my favorite thing, which is fucking incredible. And they're already snitching. Players are calling, saying Dwight Howard's refusing to wear his mask.
Yeah, he's apparently one of these freaking anti-maskers who are just ridiculous.
Yeah, but now that Trump is saying that everyone should wear masks, maybe we'll finally get all those people to start wearing masks. But who the fuck knows? Anyways, yeah, so...
You just have to tell him that anything is anti-patriotic.
Yeah.
Tell him taxing is anti-patriotic, and then all of a sudden taxes will be gone.
Yeah, I said, it'll hurt his reputation, but I think Barack Obama should just bite the bullet and say that he thinks anyone who wears a mask is a pussy. And then Trump will be like, I'm not a pussy, I'm wearing a mask. And then, it would suck for Obama, but, shit, it'd get things done, wouldn't it? Anyways, Tony, did you see the report today that the NBA is discontinuing their partnership with China?
No, I did not, but
yes,
I'd like to know. Good.
So now you can come back to the NBA.
I'm sad. I feel bad that it took the start of Black Lives Matter movement to what happened in Hong Kong to Black Lives Matter clearly fucking still mattering, because it always did. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute, we might be hypocritical here. We should probably fucking change it. It's who the fuck is running the PR department in this fucking league?
I don't know, but
I could do it by literally sleeping 22 hours a day.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the greatest job? Okay, here's your job description. You're going to work for 2 hours a day. You're going to love your job. And you're going to be paid salary, and for most of your day, you're just going to fucking sleep.
Yeah, no. Wake up. Hey, do Black Lives Matter? Yeah. All right, thanks. All right, bye. Back to bed. Hey, should we support China against Hong Kong? No. Okay, good night.
Exactly.
Hey, The Black Lives Still Matter? Yeah, they always have. They did then, they do now. All right, go back to bed.
Sir, how do we show the players on the court that we think Black Lives Matter? I mean, could just write Black Lives Matter on the fucking court? Brilliant, yes!
The majority of the league is black, so let's listen to them.
Seriously.
Fucking idiot.
Like,
I'm going back to bed.
Is it just me, or does it feel like at this point that's just a fucking empty gesture? Putting that on the court. Like, I get it's important and all that.
It's an empty gesture. I mean, it's a gesture based on a bunch of fucking rich white people in a fucking league that is predominantly black that is finally accepting the fact that they realize that there's fucking a different fucking justice system to other fucking people. I mean, it's not an empty gesture. It just seems like it's fucking too little too late. Again,
just like we were talking about earlier in our group chat with, surprise, surprise, Woody Johnson's a fucking scumbag. A fucking racist, sexist scumbag. Who is currently our ambassador to the UK. Like I said earlier, is anyone surprised that a rich old white dude who was put in place by Trump is a sexist and racist? Color me fucking shocked. Like, no
it's
duh.
All a conspiracy, Dan. It's all a conspiracy by the liberal elites.
You've got fucking 70-year-old white men who've hated black people for 68 years of their 70 years, and expect them to just understand and all of this. No, they for the most part, they don't give a fuck about anyone's life but their own. And of course, they're old and fucking racist. We need more people like Mark Cuban, who are willing to speak out, who are willing to put their money where their mouth is, who are willing to break the cycle of just rich old white guy buys a basketball team or football team or whatever team and just continues to allow stupid shit to happen. And it's not even an age thing, because Dan Snyder's not that old, and he's a fucking fucked up fuck. No relation to Dan Snyder, the owner of the Washington Redskins. But, like, these people in power should not be in power. And that's all I'm going to say, because if you haven't learned anything from Donald fucking Sterling, then you're not going to learn anything at all when it comes to this. Treat people with respect, treat people well, that's it. I don't care who they are, unless they have personally wronged you, treat them with respect. End of story. Back to the NBA. The bubble in Florida, in Disney. They're fucking in Disney. They're not just like in the fucking swamp or anything. They're in Disney. And they're fucking complaining that their rooms aren't nice enough, that their food is a little dry, or whatever. They're in Disney, place that cost family $4,000 a night to go. So, it is what it is. The bubble in Florida, 22 teams are going to restart this season. There are 9 teams in the Eastern Conference. In order 1 through 9 there, the Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics, Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers, Philadelphia 76ers, Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic, and the team just outside the playoffs, the Washington Wizards. So, if you're doing the math, 22 minus 9 means there are 13 Western Conference teams, and those teams, again, in seed order, are the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, Memphis Grizzlies, Portland Trail Blazers, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, Phoenix Suns. The Suns have a chance to make the fucking playoffs. Like, how embarrassing is this?
There you go. They have very, 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 very little chance to actually make playoffs. opening it up a little bit more for teams that, might have made a late run. But we know the Suns and, for once, the Spurs were not going to be those teams. You got the Wizards, the Kings in there that don't really belong. The two teams I think that do would be the Grizzlies and Trailblazers, in that they could come back, especially now that the Blazers in particular have some healthy players returning that they lost mid-season or earlier. But that's about it. They didn't need to open it up to 22 teams. It could have been, literally just the top 8 from each conference, and then just let the Grizzlies and Blazers, have a crack at it. But it is what it is.
Well, if they did the top 8, the Grizzlies would be the cutoff, and the Blazers would be out. I personally think they should have just ended the season, and you are the 16 teams. Now we're just going to play a few games each to determine seeding, and then we'll get into playoffs. That's what they should have done. Or just been like, fuck it, whatever seed you're at, and we're going to start the playoffs. Kind of like what the NHL's doing. But I just don't understand why they have to have 22 teams. Well, I do understand. It's because I want to get fucking Zion in the playoff. Like, dude missed almost the entire season. And now you want to fucking cater to him and help him get into the playoffs. It's fucking stupid. It is just end of the season. Jets, as NFL people say. Jets, just end the season. And the 16 teams that are there are the ones that are going to be in the playoffs. And then just play off normally. That's what they should have done. That's what everybody would have wanted to see. Like, because stringing the Suns along, like, why even risk having as many people there when you know they're not going to make the playoffs? Just take the 16 teams and just have it be that. And if anyone has a problem with it, well, too fucking bad. So sad. There's always next year. That being said, I know way more about basketball than I do about baseball, so I can talk a little bit more intelligently about this. And if there's one team that I think that really gets hurt